Hey everybody, it's Brad at Dayport Brothers LLC out in Versailles, Ohio. Going to do another walk around video followed by an operational video on this 2022 Kubota SVL97-2 skid steer that came in and we're putting up for sale. Like always, I'll walk around, I'll talk about the features and functions, I'll get up close to everything, I'll show you everything that I see, talk about anything that I know, then of course we'll fire it up, run it through its paces, let you hear the engine. We'll show you the front pins, lift the loader, dump the bucket, show you it turns strong, lift the front end up. As always, if you are in the market for a used skid steer, a used piece of construction equipment, or a used piece of ag equipment, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Your likes and subscriptions help other people who are looking for equipment find our videos and find our machines, and we truly, truly do appreciate it. All right, like I said, this one is a 2022 Kubota SVL97-2 cab, heat, air, high flow, 2-speed, pilot controls, hydraulic quick coupler. It's got a backup camera, although it's inverted. I'll show you that here in a little bit. I don't know why. 3,200 pound lift capacity at 35% of tipping load, 11,574 pound operating weight, and this one has 958 hours. So here in a little bit, like I said, we'll fire it up. We'll show you these front pins up here. They're nice and tight. They're what I would expect for 958 hours. Hydraulics are nice and strong. As I get up close to it here, you'll see the orange paint still pretty bright. If you're at all familiar with them, you know these Kubotas, the paint kind of fades pretty bad on these skid steers, but the paint is fairly bright. Up here you see just your typical scuffs and scratches here on the loader arm. Nothing out of the ordinary there. No huge dents or dings, just your typical rock chips, scuffs, scratches. I don't see anything that looks like it's been cracked or welded or plated anywhere. Kind of a big scuff there in that decal. Again, just typical chips here and there in the paint, some scuffing, nothing out of the ordinary there. Looking at the track on this side, these are that H-style pattern track. Looking at the tread depth here, I'm gonna say we're probably a good 55 to 60% tread depth. I think I'm being very fair there. Really no weather checking or anything in here to speak of, no big cracks running crossways. Definitely still life left here in this track system. Looking at the sprockets here, very, very good sprockets. Taking a little step back here, looking at the side frame of the undercarriage. Still retains quite a bit of that gray paint, especially on the sides. More of it has peeled off on the top there, and it's got obviously just some surface rust where the dirt and stuff sits on top of that track system. In here on the frame of the machine, pretty darn good in here. Just some light scratches, a little bit of rock chips here and there, nothing out of the ordinary for a used track machine. Same thing in here, just your scuffs and scratches. Looking at the rear corner on this side, a little bit of a dent here, and then of course the shield's missing. It looks like probably when they hit that, it kind of just bent out just a little bit right here, so that shield probably didn't fit back on properly, so they just left it off. Otherwise, this back corner is pretty darn good. A couple light scuffs and scratching here, some scratches and stuff here, a little bit of paint peeling off just a little bit down here at this bottom edge. Otherwise pretty good though. Coming around to the back, looking at the back door there, as you can see, the orange paint, like I said, fairly bright. It looks like all those fins there on that door are pretty good. Couple little scuffs and scratches, no huge dents or dings. Doesn't look like it's been backed into anything, banged into anything hard back here. That bottom edge is still good. Same thing down here. Up top here, this is pretty good. That shield's good. Just some small rock chips and stuff here. This top shield here is just a little bit more faded than the rest of it. It's not bad, but it is a little faded there. Some of it looks more faded than it is the way the sun's shining right now, but there is a light fade there. This is definitely a little brighter, the back door and the sides. A little bit of a scratch there, a couple small ones here. Coming around to this rear corner, again, Not much of a dent here on this side like there was that side, but there's paint chipped off, scuffs and scratches here on this back rear corner. Otherwise though, you can see that gray is still nice and bright and reflective. You can see just some scuffing and scratching here. Decals are pretty good. Looking at the tracks on this side, again, tread depth matches up really well to the other side. Again, really no weather checking in there, just your typical. There are some spots with some small cracks in tread bars, little chunks off of them. Nothing out of the ordinary for a used set of tracks. Still plenty of life left here. Sprockets, again, lots of life left there in those sprockets. And then again on this side, as I take a step back, most of that gray paint still there. You know, probably 80% of that original gray paint still there on the side rail here of the undercarriage, and then in on the side of the frame. Again, you can see in there, pretty darn good. Just typical little scuffs and scratches. Nothing out of the ordinary for a used track machine with 950 hours. It's not brand new. Looking at the loader arm on this side, again, nice and straight, no huge dents or dings, nothing that looks like it's been cracked or welded or plated anywhere. Just your typical, there's some scuffs and scratches in the paint. Spot there, little spot there, some light scuffing here. But again, nothing that looks like it's been cracked or welded or plated on either side of the loader arms. Same thing back here on the back of that skid steer mount plate. I am not seeing anything here that looks like it's been cracked or welded or plated. Coming up, taking a look at this bucket. It is a low pro Kubota heavy duty bucket there. Still actually has some of the black paint still in the corners and that top back, but most of it on the bottom is gone. No huge dents or dings here that I'm seeing. That bottom is nice and flat, cutting edge is good. I'm not seeing any bows there. Everything looks pretty darn good. A lot of life left there in that cutting edge. Honestly, that cutting edge looks like it's almost brand new. Coming around to the back, taking a look in the engine compartment. You'll probably hear, we just did the operational video first, so you can hear that purge pump running. Looking here at the fins on the radiator, mostly pretty darn good. There's a few little slight bends in some of them, but pretty darn good for the most part. Try to get in here and show you the best I can. It's hard with this camera setup to get in too close and show you too much here, but other than a little bit of dust and dirt, pretty darn good in here. I don't see any oil or diesel or antifreeze running anywhere. Try to kind of go slow here so you guys can see in there pretty well. Come over to this other side. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see down in there, but everything looks pretty darn dry. Now, I say with every used machine, I'm sure if you go over it with a fine-tooth comb, there's going to be a seep or something somewhere, but everything seems to be pretty dry in here and all around the machine. The fins here on this cooler underneath, everything looks really good there. There you can hear that purge pump turned off finally. Alright, now we'll take a look at the cab and the interior. Here on this side, everything looks nice and square there. Nothing out of the ordinary on the cab here. Coming around to the back side of the cab, everything looks good there also. Same thing over here on this side. All the glass seems good. I'm not seeing any cracks or spider webbing in any of that glass. Front door's good. Up here on the front, honestly pretty good for a 3-year-old machine. Still retains a lot of that original paint. You can see there's some scuffs and scratches here on these cylinder guards. Nothing I wouldn't expect on a used skid steer. There's some rock chips down here, paint chips, whatever you want to call them, scuffs and scratching, but everything looks pretty good. Little bit of a dent here, bow in the step, and then again, just your typical scuffs and scratches up here in that front faceplate. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Taking a look in here, floorboard looks good. I know it's kind of hard with this has tinted windows on the sides and the back, so it makes it a little dark in here and the way the sun's shining right now. Looking at the bottom seat cushion, I am not seeing any cuts or tears there. Everything looks pretty darn good. Same thing with that backrest, everything looks good there. I'm not seeing any cuts or tears there either. And looking here, looking at our joystick. I know it's a little hard again, like I said, with that sunlight, and it's dark in here, but all the toggle switches are good. Trigger button on the back is good. Rubber boot down here is good. All that texture is still very, very prominent. Doesn't show any excessive wear. Coming over to this side, same thing here. This joystick, all the buttons and toggles all seem good. Trigger button on the back is good. Rubber boot down here is good. Here I wanted to show you. So as you can see here, it's flipped sideways. So it's showing the shop on our left, but the shop is actually on our right. I don't know what's going on there. Take somebody smarter than me to make that work the proper way. So it does work, but it's inverted, side to side. I didn't show you there. Hour meter down there, 958.4 on the hours. Looking at our armrest, everything looks good here. Our lap bars, all of our buttons are good, nice and legible here. All this plastic's in good shape here. I'm not seeing anything that looks busted up or cracked or anything like that. Fins are good here. We are missing a couple of fins down here on this HVAC port there. Over here, our buttons are good. Our quick coupler button's good. HVAC controls. At the time of this video, the AC is blowing nice and cold. Up here where the cylinders come up, everything looks good there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing looks like it's been cracked or welded there. Same thing on this side, and again, back of that skid steer mount plate, everything looks good and normal there. All right, like I said, this one's a 2022 Kubota SVL97-2, 958 hours. Lots of photos on our website. That's listed down below in the description. If you have any questions, comment down below. We'll try to answer them for you. We'll fire it up and get right into an operational video.